It was a hot afternoon in Ouagadougou. The sun was shining, the streets were crowded, and people were busy with their daily lives. President Ibrahim Traoré was returning from a quiet meeting with local leaders. His car moved slowly through the narrow roads of the older part of the city. As always, he had told his driver to avoid sirens. He wanted to be close to the people, see their faces, feel their lives. Suddenly, his car stopped at a red light near a small market. He looked out the window and saw something that shook his soul. There, sitting on the corner of the road, was an old man. His clothes were torn. His shoes had holes. His hands were trembling as he held out a small cup. People walked past him. Some gave coins, most ignored him. But Ibrahim couldn't look away. There was something familiar in the old man's face. He opened the door and stepped out. His guards were surprised, but he raised a hand, asking them to stay back. Slowly, he walked toward the old man. The man didn't notice him at first. He was looking down, ashamed, weak, and tired. When Ibrahim stood in front of him, the man raised his eyes and gasped. For a second, he tried to stand, but failed. "Mr. President," he whispered. Ibrahim knelt down beside him, shocked and speechless. "Do you remember me, sir?" the old man asked, his voice weak but full of emotion. Ibrahim's eyes widened. "Mr. Bernard," he said slowly, almost not believing it. "You were my teacher. You taught me in primary school. You taught me to read, to write, to dream." The old man smiled gently. "Yes, and I always knew you would go far." Tears filled Ibrahim's eyes. He held the teacher's hand tightly. "But why are you here? Why are you begging on the street?" Mr. Bernard looked down, his voice cracked. "After retirement. My pension stopped coming. My wife passed away. My son moved abroad and never came back. I had no money left, so I came here just to survive." His hand shook as he wiped a tear from his cheek. A small crowd had gathered, watching the scene in silence. Some had phones, but no one dared interrupt. They saw something rare: power kneeling before poverty, respect bowing to pain. Ibrahim stood up and turned to his team. "Bring me a chair, a table, and some food right here," he said firmly. Within minutes, his men returned with everything he asked for. He sat with Mr. Bernard at the table, served him water and food, and stayed beside him as he ate. "You fed my mind when I had nothing," Ibrahim said. "Now I will feed your life." The old teacher cried softly, repeating again and again, "Thank you." "Thank you, my son." The president made a call and said, "I want a house built for Mr. Bernard starting tomorrow. I want his pension restored, and I want him honored in our next national event." The news spread like wildfire across the city and beyond. But Ibrahim didn't do it for the cameras. He didn't do it for likes, shares, or praise. He did it because the man sitting on the street once gave him something no money could buy: education, hope, and dignity. This man helped shape a president, Ibrahim told the crowd. "And now it's my duty to protect him." The next day, Mr. Bernard moved into a small but beautiful house in a clean neighborhood. He was given a full pension, daily food, and 2 helpers to take care of him. But more than that, he was given his honor back. Ibrahim visited him often, sometimes just to talk, sometimes to listen. Every visit reminded him of how far he had come and who helped him along the way. At the national event a month later, Ibrahim called Mr. Bernard onto the stage. The crowd rose to its feet. There were cheers, claps, and tears. Ibrahim placed a medal on his teacher's chest and said, "To the man who lit the first candle in my mind." Mr. Bernard wept openly, holding the president's hands. "I never imagined this day," he said, "but I thank God you remembered me." In a world where many forget their past, Ibrahim Traoré chose to honor it. In a system that often leaves the old behind, he brought them forward. His action was more than kindness. It was a lesson, a message to every young person, every leader, every citizen. Never forget the hands that held you when you were small. The story of Ibrahim and Mr. Bernard became a legend in Burkina Faso. Schools taught it. Artists painted it, musicians sang about it, but no one ever told it better than the people who saw it happen. They would say, "We saw a president kneel in the dust to honor his teacher. We saw power not in titles but in gratitude." And Mr. Bernard? He lived his final years in peace, dignity, and joy. He was never hungry again. He was never alone. And every time someone asked him how he survived, he smiled and said, "Because one student never forgot me." Sometimes we look for heroes in movies, in books, in dreams. But the real heroes are the ones who kneel beside the forgotten, who give without noise, who remember their teachers. Ibrahim Traoré became more than a leader that day. He became a son to every forgotten elder. So now, when someone says, "You won't believe what Ibrahim Traoré did when he saw an old teacher begging on the street," we answer, "Yes, we will," because that's the kind of man he is.